examinations for UPSC CSC, State Public Service Commission, SSC Combined Graduate Level Exam and CLAT examinations. So do visit AKS IAS Academy and also the website of AKS IAS Academy. About me, I am Sandeep Bhushan Thumala and my credentials are: I have 10 years of teaching experience for civil services. I teach international relations and internal security as well as the analysis of the Hindu newspaper. And this session will definitely help you to crack prelims and mains examinations, because throughout this session I would be emphasizing on the keywords and the key phrases from the newspaper, so that these keywords and the key phrases will certainly help you to identify the factual, analytical and conceptual questions which will be very useful for the preliminary examinations. So do get into the mode of understanding the keywords and the key phrases, wherein you will be benefited by identifying the factual, analytical and conceptual question for prelims, as well as the keywords and the key phrases. When we try to analyze, we will, you will also definitely be helpful. It will be helpful, and this session will be also helpful for you in regards to mains answer writing, that is for mains answer writing, wherein when you imbibe the keywords and the key phrases in your answer writing, that is in the mains examinations, wherein your answers in the mains examinations would certainly be precise and concise. And this is what the UPSC will be demanding from you in regards to your answers. That is, your answers should be precise and concise. And once your answers are precise and concise, no doubt you will score high marks in the mains examination. So definitely my session will definitely help you to have an edge over others in the prelims as well as mains examinations, both for year 2020 as well as 2021. And this session is in regards to the daily news analysis, which that is today's daily news analysis, and I would be re-emphasizing and reiterating my tagline, that is emphasizing on the keywords and the key phrases, because certainly when you are into the mode of emphasizing the keywords and the key phrases, not only in the newspaper but also in the various other subjects, definitely you will have an edge, or you will certainly score more marks in the prelims and mains and also in the personality test. So definitely the daily news analysis at AKS IAS Academy will certainly help you for prelims, mains and also for the personality test. And before I get into the topic, I would say a very good morning to all who are in the live and also in the live chat. So very good morning to Praveen, Srikanth, Harika, D, Suvarna, Chinni, PS. Is Chinni is it for the first time she is joining the AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis? So a warm welcome to you. Bhaskar, Geeta, Savarla, new faces here, new names here. Bhaskar also, Erpa Bhaskar Rao, all of you, very good morning to you. And the one who is not in the live chat but in the live, please do make sure that you are part of the live chat, so that you can have the discussion with me, and any kind of queries or doubts you can key in, and then I would certainly clear your doubts. And my humble request is, whoever are in the live but not in the live chat, please do get into the live chat, and then you can definitely you can go ahead with asking any kind of doubts you would. My humble request, the who are in the live, please do get into the live chat. And the quote of the day is, if you want something you never had, if you want something which you never had, something you have to do something you have never done. So what is important is, if you want something you never had, that means you are expecting that which you never had in your future. So for that you have to do something which you have never done. So if you wanted to have, or you wanted to have something which you have never had it, so you need to do something which you haven't done it in the past. So definitely what is important is that you need to get into the mode of doing something consistency, and that is what is very important. That means if you haven't been part of your schedule being consistency in the past, you haven't done it, so do it now. Do it now. Something, what is that consistency? And then you believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, definitely you will achieve it. Believe in yourselves, have a goal, and then work for it. Consistency, if you haven't done in the past, then do it, and then you will definitely get what you are supposed to get it and what you're dreaming for it. And Jalagam Vinay, Prithvi Raju, Rathod, all a warm welcome to you all to AKS IS Academy of Daily News Analysis. And the news what we'll get is in today's newspaper is the experts talk about what is the number of cases in regards to SARS-CoV-2 infected cases in India, and what is the herd immunity, what is the number of the active cases, and then the case fatality ratio, and also the recovery rate. So we will look at all that and what experts have said and where is India standing. So definitely the keyword is that we have crossed, or India has crossed. This is something really not that we would be expecting, but definitely what is the positive side of it is the case fatality has reduced. That means the number of death cases have reduced. So India has crossed 3 million. 3 million. So 1 million is equal to, I know you all are aware, but still I would go ahead, 10 lakh. So 3 millions is almost, we have crossed 30 lakh. So 30 lakh cases have been recorded as on August 23rd, 2020. So we have crossed 3 million of SARS-CoV-2 active cases, and the number of cases added are 69,239, that is on August 22nd, and that is the fourth straight day added 69,000. So this is a concern. So if you look at from August 19, 20, 21, 22, almost every day there are 60,000 cases each day. Each day you have 69,000 cases, and this is what the concern is. And the other point is that India is just behind Brazil and then US in the overall cases, in the overall infected cases. In the overall infected cases of the SARS-CoV-2, India stands third and Brazil second and USA first. So this is again very important that India is standing at the third place now in regards to the Brazil is second, United States is first in regards to the overall cases. And not only that, for the first time, this is very important, for the first time on August 22nd, 2020, on August 22nd, 2020, India has gone ahead with testing 1 million samples for the first time. It has surpassed this milestone. So testing 1 million on one particular day, that is on August 22, 2020, India has surpassed, it has crossed the milestone of testing 1 million samples of this SARS-CoV-2 one day. And then till August, till August 21, we have tested 34.4 million samples, or testing has been done, that is 34.4 millions. But on one given day, that is on August 22nd, we have surpassed, or we have tested 1 million samples. And here what is again very important is that India is standing third, as we said, and then we have tested 1 million on August 22nd, we have surpassed. And the other one is like the active cases in India, as per, or else in regards to the total population, it is 23%. It is 23%, or it is equal to 7 lakh. 23 percentage or 7 lakh population. So active cases is 23 percentage, and the other one is case fatality ratio. That means the death cases or death ratio is less than 2 percentage, is less than 2 percentage. So the active cases are 23 percentage, which we know that it is crossed 3 millions, and the case fatality ratio, that is the death ratio, is less than 2 percentage. So 3 million is passed. We have just seen last month, close to 3.5 to 4 weeks back, we have seen 2 millions. India has touched 2 millions of cases, and now it has crossed 3 millions of cases. And Sri Biki has also joined. A warm welcome to you to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And the other one is India is politically and culturally one. India is politically and culturally one, but epidemiologically it has many states. That means epidemiologically means we are trying to know the cause, root and effect. So if we look at it, it is from many countries. So definitely there are chances that how best we can try to handle the situation in regards to the tracing, testing and treatment. So this is very important. 3Ts are very important because epidemiologically it is from many countries. So as India is politically and culturally one, but epidemiologically we are definitely into the mode of having to get to understand the cause, root and effect of the spread of the SARS-CoV-2 virus. And the other important point is herd immunity. So I have said this, I have explained this in the past. What do you mean by herd immunity? That means maximum population in India, when they get the maximum immunity or their immunity is strengthened. So why do the virus attack, or to whom does the virus attack? It is the one whose immunity is weak. Weak immunity system, whoever are possessing their immunity system, if it is weak, then the SARS-CoV-2 will attack them. But the one who has this strengthened immunity system or strong immunity system, so definitely the chances of the virus attacking them is very minimum. So when we look at the herd immunity, that means the maximum number of the people should have the strong immunity system. So there was a kind of sense that the herd immunity will definitely, once we reach the herd immunity, so we can make sure that the SARS-CoV-2 will not affect the individual or to the humankind. But that is misnomer. Please do understand, I am repeating once again, we were in the feeling or in the mindset that if the herd immunity is reached, then the SARS-CoV-2 will not attack. This virus will not attack or it will not infect the individuals. But that is misnomer or wrong or incorrect. What the expert says, because see, please look at it here. Here, what all we are talking about is what the experts are talking about. That we can lower the SARS-CoV-2 virus, unlikely to abate. Abate in the sense lower, L-O-V-E-R. Abate is lower the cases. So we are unlikely to that. And to that, what is important, the keyword here is, please do focus on the herd immunity. So everywhere, many of the experts were feeling that if there is a herd immunity, that means maximum number of people who are alive is with the strong immunity that they can handle, or SARS-CoV-2 will not affect them or it will not infect them. That is misnomer. It is wrong. And what is the fact? What the expert says is only the vaccine is or will protect them from infection. Only the vaccine can prevent them from infection and brings out the immunity. So what is that? Is the strong immunity system within the individual or within the person is not only the one wherein we will be the SARS-CoV-2 virus will not affect us. No, what the expert says is only a vaccine can prevent the infection and help bring out herd immunity. So what is very important is vaccine is important at this time. And what the experts also have emphasized or they have made a point is that we have done a critical mistake that India has gone ahead with initially in the month of March. What the expert says that India or the government of India had gone ahead with the testing only in regards to the NIV. What is NIV? National Institute of Virology, which is in Pune. So initially we have gone ahead with tested on all the samples were sent to NIV. So later on we had many laboratories. Later on, we had many laboratories which were again authorized by ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research. But what the expert says is we have done, and that was a mistake, and it was a critical mistake during the February and March, that many of the testing were not really ramped up, that was not increased. If it was increased also, it was only pertaining to, or it was only confined to National Institute of Virology, that is in Pune. If at that time itself, if we would have increased the number of testing laboratories, then probably we would have brought down the curve, which is now like this. We would have brought down the curve, the infected cases. So initially February, March, April, May, June, July. If you look at now, it is probably there might be a little bit of decline in the number of cases because recovery rate is also getting higher. And Anil have also joined. Naidu Dhana, Gopi Nayak, a warm welcome to you all to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And in regards to this, what the expert says is that Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh are the top three contributors of the overall cases, wherein these three are constituting around a million COVID cases. Please do understand, because initially it was Delhi, Maharashtra. Fine. Now Delhi is not in the top list. Now not in the top list. Now slowly it has come back to the southern India or South Indian states. The virus is now spreading virulent in the South Indian states. It could be Tamil Nadu, as said, AP, even Telangana and Kerala. So these are the states which are maximum, and amongst them the South Indian states, Tamil Nadu and AP along with the Maharashtra constitutes almost a million cases or third of the entire cases. And now what is important, that keyword is doubling time. That is the time wherein the number of cases are doubling in India is 30 days. That means in a gap of or in a span of 30 days, the number of cases, if it is X, the doubling is 2X. That means if it is 100, I am just saying example, so it is 200 cases. So the doubling time in India is 30 days. But in many of this is in regards to the nation, India, in regards to the entire India. But if you look at many of the states, it is 30 to 40 days doubling time. And if you look at very specifically in Delhi, the doubling time is 70 days. That means definitely Delhi is moving in a further direction or positive way, that the number of cases have reduced. And the National COVID Task Force, please do understand, the National COVID Task Force is definitely making a statement that there would be a possibility that up till September or October, the number of cases would be increased, or the same kind of increase of number of cases would take place in the month of September or October. And later on, November, December, there would be a chance that the number of cases across India might decrease. But up till September, that is next month, and October, the probability, the spurt increases. Spurt in the sense, the increase in cases might definitely go up. So this is in regards to, we have seen the doubling time, herd immunity. Please do understand this herd immunity. And then in regards to the active cases, these are the keywords: case fatality ratio, and National Institute of Virology, which is in Pune, which could be part of your prelims question. And in regards to the doubling time, and what the National COVID Task Force is also making a statement is that probably September and October could be the peak of the SARS-CoV-2 virus. So this is what the experts have been mentioning about the SARS-CoV-2. Sanjeev Kumar has also joined. A warm welcome to you. And there is another news which talks about India could get vaccine by year end, and this is what the entire world is waiting for, and even India is waiting for. We have seen the only country which has come up openly saying that the vaccine is ready, that is Russia. That is Russia. And what is the vaccine called as? Sputnik 5. Sputnik 5. But still there are lots of questions being raised across the country, and also the many European countries are raising the concern that without the total completion or final completion of the phase 3 of human clinical trials in Russia, that is in regards to vaccine which they have developed, Sputnik 5, they have been raising concerns and eyebrows that probably how it might work on the individuals. And in regards to India, the Union Health Minister, that is Harshvardhan, has made it very clear that by the end of this year, end of this or 2020, there could be a vaccine. There could be a vaccine which would come up by the end of the year. So India might or will get a vaccine. That is what the statement made by the Union Health Minister. And what is that we need to focus is that there are now 3 COVID-19 vaccine candidates, and out of these 3, 2 are indigenous. Indigenous in the sense which are developed by Indian companies or pharmaceutical companies. And as per these 2, which are the 2 are that one is being developed by Bharat Biotech. One is developed by Bharat Biotech and the other one is by Zydus Cadila Limited. So this, why I am mentioning is, this is very important, that because they are indigenous, part of again Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme. So part of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme, again correlating to the COVID vaccine candidates. So the 2 developing companies are Bharat Biotech and Zydus. And Bharat Biotech is in collaboration with ICMR. These are all very important for prelims point of view. And both these indigenous manufacturing pharmaceutical companies have gone ahead with completing. They have completed phase 1 human clinical trial, and they would be getting into the phase 2 human clinical trial. And we have seen there are totally 3, that is 2 is Bharat Biotech and the other one is Zydus Cadila, and you have one more which is in collaboration with Indian company with the UK company, that we will look at. So here what is very important, the keyword is Bharat Biotech, Zydus Cadila Limited, which is associated with or in collaboration with ICMR, which is association with the ICMR, and out of the 3, 2 are indigenous. Indigenous, why? Again, Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme. So the third one is, we have seen 2 are Bharat Biotech and then Zydus Cadila Limited. And the third one is the Serum Institute of India, which is partnering with AstraZeneca for manufacturing, and this is again having the coordination or collaboration with the University of Oxford or Oxford University. Please do understand, this would be very important for prelims point of view. So two indigenous, one, the other third one is in regards to the Serum Institute of India, which is partnered with AstraZeneca for manufacturing, and that Serum Institute of India is in collaboration with the University of Oxford, and they will get into the, and they have been permitted by the ICMR. They have been permitted by, they have been permitted by ICMR to take up the phase 2. Please do understand, phase 2 and phase 3 of human clinical trials in the next week, or else it could be August last week or September first week. Please do understand the phase 2 and phase 3 trials, because University of Oxford had completed phase 1 of human clinical trials in UK, and now University of Oxford will take up the phase 2 and phase 3 human clinical trials in India, and that has been given permission by the ICMR and then the Health Ministry. And the apex body or apex health research body in India, apex health research body in India is ICMR, and this is again very important for prelims point of view. Why? Because there could be a very a trivial question which could be that which among the following is the apex health research body in India. You could have ICMR, or you could have Union Health Ministry, or Union Health Ministry plus State Health Ministers. So it is the ICMR, or it could be National Institute of Virology. But the answer for this is apex health research body is in India is ICMR, and they have gone ahead with developing a portal called as online vaccine portal and online vaccine portal. So this online vaccine portal will provide all the information. It will provide all the information about the vaccine development. Please do understand, this is again very important for prelims, and also you can use it as a short notes in your mains. It is important for prelims and also for the mains. Why? Because the ICMR, that is the apex health research body, has come up with developing an online vaccine portal. You can mention this keyword in your mains as a short note. The importance of the apex health research body. It will provide all the information about the vaccine development, and it would be in many or several regional language along with English. This is important. And then Ram Kumar has joined. A warm welcome to you, Ram Kumar. And the other news which talks about is Indian Railways to introduce freight e-marketplace. So the keyword here we will focus is freight e-marketplace. So what do you mean by freight? F-R-E-I-G-H-T. So freight is the goods which are transported. It could be in trucks or to train or railway. Fine. So the goods which are carried. And now what Indian Railways says is, Indian Railways is to introduce freight e-marketplace. So this is very important. So it is now introducing, because it is introducing e-marketplace, that is Indian Railways. It would be a probable question in the prelims, because there would certainly be one question in regards to the railways or Indian Railways. There would be certainly one question in the prelims in regards to the Indian Railways. So the question could be the number of zones, the initial Indian Railways when it has started, and then the number of zones it has started, and now the number of zones when it has started, how many, and now total number of zones. That is a basic, that is the you can consider as the basic information of the stock GK. And what is contemporary now in regards to the Indian Railways, there could be a possibility that question could be asked, is the Indian Railways to introduce freight e-marketplace. This is very important. Freight e-marketplace is important. And why and how this will be useful? This will be useful as a one-stop logistics solution. So it will be as a one-stop logistics solution. Logistic in the sense wherein you will have all the goods, I mean the movement. Logistic is that wherein you would be shifting or you would be sending any kind of requirement. So that one-stop logistics solution is what? It is what the Indian Railways have introduced, that is freight e-marketplace. And what it will provide? It will provide first mile to last mile connectivity. This is important. Please do understand. These are all very important for prelims as well as mains examination. So it will be first mile to last mile connectivity. So what is the main essence or the objective of the railways, Indian Railways, in regards to the introducing of the freight e-marketplace is that it will provide the first mile, that is the first point. Mile in the sense here, first point, starting point and the end point. First mile and the last mile connectivity. And this is a new freight operation information system. Please do understand. And this freight e-marketplace is a new freight operation information system which the Indian Railways will unveil it. Please do understand, this is very, very important because many of the students might not get into the mode of at least looking at it, because there is always a probability that the question might be framed because of the contemporary issues, that is in regards to the current issue. And the Indian Railways is also going ahead with a portal that is called as Business Development Partnership Portal. So as we have seen, even in regards to the ICMR, the Apex Health Research Body has also come up with the portal in regards to the vaccine development. So portals are very important because all these portals are by Government of India. And now if you look at Indian Railways also, where in the budget you do not have this separate budget for Indian Railways, it is now part of the Indian Railways. That is why we need to focus on the freight e-marketplace, which is one-stop logistics solutions, and it provides the first mile and last mile connectivity. And what is that? It is a new freight operation information system, FOIS. And the Indian Railways have also come up with they're planning to come up with a portal that is called as the Business Development Partnership Portal. This is again very important keyword. Why? Because it will facilitate a dialogue with the stakeholders. That means all the one who are part of the business development model or the freight e-marketplace, they would be having a portal. They can have the facilitation of a dialogue with all the stakeholders, wherein they would be part of the freight e-marketplace or one-stop logistics solutions, or which will provide the first mile to last mile connectivity. And definitely from the month of March, April until August, we have seen Railways has played a vital role. Why? Because in regards to the migrant workers, please do understand. That is why I am saying these are very important. Migrant workers, Indian Railways have made sure that the transport facility, it has been used as the major transport facility during the March till almost till June, July, to shift the migrant workers from the cities to their respective villages. And then not only the migrant workers, railways have also made sure that the entire food grains, fertilizers and other goods which were necessary for the entire humankind, Indian railways have been at the forefront in regards to shifting of the migrant workers and also shifting of the food grain, fertilizers and other goods. So this way you need to focus in regards to the prelims and mains point of view. How you need to look at the keywords. So here the keywords are freight e-market place, which is one-stop logistics solutions, and it provides first mile to last mile connectivity, and it is a new freight operation information system, and Indian Railways is also coming up with the business development partnership portal. These are the keywords which you need to focus for the prelims and mains to clear. And what Indian Railways have also said is that they will go ahead with the current doubling of speed. Please do understand this, because when we are talking about the freight in the sense, as I said, they are all goods which are being shifted from one place to another place. So definitely they are shifted in the goods train. Please do understand, goods train. You have a train separate for freight, that is goods train. You have a goods train, you have a passenger train. Please do understand. It is simple, but when we try to apply this logic, then the entire concept will be very clear. It will be very clear. And then Shivamurthy has also joined. Mahi has also joined. A warm welcome to both of you to AKS IAS Academy. And the current doubling of speed of freight trains, that is the goods train, will be up to 46 km per hour. And this increase of that is what the current doubling. So they have doubled the speed of the freight trains, that is the good trains, to 46 km per hour. You might think that this is irrelevant, but you never know. The UPSC might focus on the doubling of speed by the Indian Railways. The decision taken on or in regards to the freight trains is 46 kilometers. Because if it is in your question paper in the UPSC, you might be startled, you might be surprised, but it is no doubt it is a contemporary current. And this, what the railway says is that it will maintain even eventually running of the, once the passenger trains, once the COVID-19 situation calms down, once the passenger trains also comes into existence, or they start moving, or the number of passengers trains are also increased, then also they will go ahead with what the railway says is, Indian Railways, they will go ahead with maintaining the same doubling of the speed, that is 46 kilometers, by stabilizing or having a separate timetable. Please do understand. So the Indian Railways is very keen about maintaining or doubling of the speed of the freight trains, that is the goods trains. Even though in the future the passenger trains, again the number of trains increases, but still they will maintain, because they will go ahead with a separate timetable for both the passengers and then the goods train. And then the Indian Railway Board chairman has also made it very clear that it will have the goods train, the freight charges, or the, we were talking about a freight freight e-market, freight e-marketplace. So this freight e-marketplace will have connectivity to 10 ports. Please do understand, 10 ports, and then 51 coal. This they will go ahead with connectivity. So look at the connectivity. We were talking about the first mile to last mile connectivity. So they will connect the port cities across. See, look at the ports. You have here JNPT port and also Kolkata. So likewise, there will be connectivity of 10 ports across the coastal, and then 51 coal connectivity for the supply of the coal across the country, and they will double the kilometers, and multi-tracking will be taken up, and all this will be completed by 2024 March, by March 2024. And the other one which is very important, somehow I feel based on the or part of the Indian Railways, a question if it is formed, if they are not, what you say, mentioning about even freight e-marketplace, if there is no mention about freight e-marketplace, which is a new concept which has been come up by the Indian Railways, there could be a question on dedicated freight corridor. So what the chairman also says is that by 2022 June, there would be east-west dedicated freight corridor between, which will be between Mumbai, Delhi and Kolkata, and it will become operational. It will become operational. Please do understand. It will become operational, allowing more freight trains to be introduced and enhanced. That is the doubling of the speeds and the capacity. So what is important for prelims here is the dedicated freight corridor. This keyword is important. This keyword is important for prelims. The dedicated freight corridor. And which freight corridor are we talking about? The east and west dedicated freight corridor. And this, I say it with great determination, that there would be a question on the dedicated freight corridor, especially east and west dedicated. So east and west. So from Mumbai to Kolkata, connecting Delhi. Please do understand. Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata. So it is from Mumbai and it would be from Gujarat, Rajasthan, Delhi and Uttar Pradesh, and then again part of Bihar and then West Bengal. So this is western corridor, dedicated freight corridor, this one, and then this is the blue one is eastern dedicated freight corridor, and then linking of the eastern and linking of the western and the eastern dedicated freight corridor will be linking Delhi. So this is very important. So the question could be framed on the dedicated freight corridors. Please do understand, and believe me, trust me, this is the way how the UPSC will frame the question or concentrate. And also believe me that many of the civil servant aspirants might not focus this, and the one who are focusing this will certainly clear prelims and mains, because this is a strategy what you need to get into the mode of preparing for prelims and mains or for the interview, that is for the UPSC. And before I get into the next slide, Swarupa Rani has also, Swarupa Rani, if I am not wrong, has also joined. A warm welcome to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And this is an additional which I have taken, that is in regards to the sanction as we looked at, that is west east dedicated freight corridor. This is the sanction one, and these are the future one, that is blue and then green, dark blue and purple. So as we looked at Mumbai and then Delhi and then Kolkata, this was the one which we were talking about, and the other one is the blue one, that is from Pirtala, or you can say Pirtala to Chennai. So you have from Pirtala to Chennai, you have one dedicated freight corridor, and the dark blue is from again Mumbai to, it will connect the Dankuni and then Andal junction. So from Mumbai, so there is another one. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, which are the future one, and the one which is just about to complete is the west east dedicated freight corridor from Mumbai, Delhi and Kolkata. And then you have the dark blue which is from Vijayawada to, you have it till Kolkata here. Vijayawada to Kolkata, another freight corridor. And then you have the purple one which is from Madgaon, that is from Maharashtra, Hubli it will connect, and then to almost till Chennai it will connect. So Chennai, which is part of the Pirtala and then Chennai, there the connectivity it will link at just the border of Andhra Pradesh and then Chennai, and that will further get to Chennai. So these are the ones. So please do understand the dedicated freight corridors. These are very, very important for prelims point of view, and also in regards to the understanding better about Indian Railways from mains point of view also. So these are given and map based, so that you will have a complete understanding of the dedicated freight corridors. 4 are the future projects. 1 is almost about to complete. It has sanctioned. It is almost about to complete. And these freight corridors are very important for the connectivity and also for the transport of goods from one place to another place. So here we have looked at the connectivity will be from the coal junctions and from the port cities also. So this is the way you need to focus for the prelims and mains point of view. And the other news which you have is not possibility to fully block Chinese firms. So definitely, since almost a month we have seen that to block Chinese products, fine, especially the Chinese apps. So we have seen part of it is TikTok and various other 50 plus Chinese have been blocked, so that Indians will not use it, and thereby it will impact negatively on the economy of those companies which are the owners of the apps, and further it will impact on the economy of China, that is nation's economy, China's nation's economy. So we were definitely into the mode of having an impact on China's economy, so that we have taken this decision, that is we can hit back China on the LAC, because the People's Liberation Army have entered into the Indian territories along the LAC, and we have lost 20 brave Indian soldiers. Fine. Later on, the government of India has taken a decision that it will block the Chinese apps, so that it will impact on the economy of the particular companies and thereby onto the Chinese economy. But there is another news which is popping up, which is the fact is that the officials are saying that it is not really possible to fully block. It is not possible to fully block Chinese firms, and that is a reality. What I feel is, yes, at this juncture, when India is dependent on imports, especially the products from China, and all of a sudden if you go ahead with blocking the Chinese goods and the Chinese firm to have trade with India, dumping the products into India, it is not possible as of now. We need to be self-sufficient. Only then, or through Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan scheme, that is through being self-reliant, and that might take at least 5 to 10 years, and then we can think about gradually blocking the Chinese firms or Chinese goods to have trade or to dump the products into India. But now, as of now, we are into the mode of dependence on the imports of Chinese goods, because China is the manufacturing hub of the world. Thereby, the officials are saying that definitely it is not possible to fully decouple. That means to move away from the trend that we will stop or block the Chinese investments or Chinese firms or Chinese products into India, because due to the substantial investments by the Chinese companies in India. Because why? Because Chinese companies have invested a substantial amount in India. So when they have invested a substantial amount in India, so it is not immediately possible to block the Chinese goods, firms or investments. Please do understand. It is Chinese goods, it is not possible to immediately, I am saying completely. See, we have blocked, but I am saying completely we cannot go ahead until unless we are into the mode of self-sufficient, then we can. So completely we cannot ban the Chinese goods, Chinese firms and Chinese investments. These three we cannot go ahead immediately. And then Mohammed Nashra has joined. A warm welcome to you, Nashra, to AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis. And as you are saying, this is my first class. A warm welcome. And this is Daily News Analysis by me, that is Sandeep Bhushan Tumala. And definitely you will be benefited by the AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis, that you will have a broad approach in regards to the prelims and mains point of view. And what the intelligence assessment have flagged some large companies. So intelligence assessment have said that the Chinese companies have their major presence in India. As we said, they have invested a large, substantial investments have been done in Indian companies. That means they have the major presence in India. It could be direct or indirect links with PLA. This is very important, because that is what is the important point what I will be discussing here. It is little bit of, I will discuss, analysis will be done. Why Chinese products cannot be totally banned? Analysis will be done. Please do take it into consideration for prelims and also for the mains point of view. So why we cannot totally block the Chinese goods, Chinese firms and Chinese investments? Because as per the intelligence assessments which they have come up, is the Chinese companies have the major presence in India, that their investments in India, and especially the companies which are investing in India, they have direct or indirect link. They have direct or indirect link to PLA. What is PLA? People's Liberation Army, that is Chinese army, that is China's army, People's Liberation Army, People's Liberation Army. So what the intelligence assessment says, that the Chinese companies have direct or indirect link to the People's Liberation Army or China's army. And which are the companies which are definitely having a direct or indirect link to PLA is the Xindia Steels Limited, China Electronics Group Corporation, Huawei, Alibaba and then Tencent. So these are the companies, that is Xindia Steel Limited and then China Electronics Technology Group Corporation and then Huawei. You pronounce this as Huawei, Huavei. It is not Huawei or Huawei or the way you pronounce. It is Huawei. And you have Alibaba. We know that he is also a big businessman, billionaire, and Tencent. So all these companies, as per the intelligence assessment, it is very clear that they have the direct or indirect link to the PLA. So what? So what means? That means all the information will be directly to the army, China army, and then they can have the entire information about India. That is what the concern is. And as we are talking about the companies Alibaba, Huawei, and then Tencent, and then China Electronics Technology Group Corporation, so CETGC, which was as announced in the year 2018, it has announced 46 million US dollars investment where in 200 megawatt in 200 megawatt photovoltaic manufacturing unit where in Andhra Pradesh. So please do understand that is what the amount of investment by the Chinese firms. This is Chinese firms or companies. Please do understand this is analysis point of view. This is analysis point of view. So China Electronics Technological Group companies in 2018 has announced 46 million investment in the 200 megawatt photovoltaic manufacturing units. Where are these photovoltaic used? In the solar panels. They are used in solar panels. And CETC or China Electronics Technological Group Corporation. This is China's leading military electronic manufacturer. Please do understand. CETC, which has invested 46 million US dollars in 200 megawatt photovoltaic manufacturing unit in Andhra Pradesh, is China's leading military electronic manufacturers, and it also makes Hikvision CCTV cameras. So that is what the concern is. Why? Because we have discussed as per the intelligence assessments. Many of the companies have direct or indirect link with PLA, that is People Liberation of Army, and we were talking about Huawei also, that is the company which is a part of the 5G services, and this for Plin's point of view, it was founded by Ren Zhengfei. It was founded for Ren Zhengfei, and who is this person? He is the former deputy director of PLA Engineering Corps. Please do understand. And this was founded, Huawei was founded in the year 1987, and it was founded by Ren Zhengfei, who was the former director or deputy director of People's Liberation Army Engineering Corps in 1987. So definitely he was in the year 1987, he was the director of this. So what we are trying to analyze here is that the 5G, which there was a rift between US and China, and US has pulled out the Huawei, that is 5G services from US. Because of this, having some kind of information that they might pass all the crucial or critical information to People's Liberation Army, directly to China's army, and that is what the government, US government, has taken decisions to move away. And there is one more news that in the year June 2017, China has passed a law that is called as National Intelligence Law. Please do understand, this is very important again for conceptual understanding for prelims and mains point of view. So in 2017, China has come up with a law, that is National Intelligence Law. And what does this say? That this law gives the Beijing, that is, it gives China the power, it gives China, that is the government of China, the power over Chinese companies or Chinese firms. Please do understand, that is what I said, this is entirely analysis point of view. The National Intelligence Law will give China powers over China companies, overseas investment as well. So in regards to China's companies and China's investments in other countries. So as per the National Intelligence Law, China will entirely have the control or power over the China's companies, what they are investing in other countries. So this is all very important, that they have the Chinese firms or the giant Chinese firms or companies do have direct or indirect link with the PLA. That is what it is being explained here. And as per the annual report of US Secretary of Defense, as per the annual report, of US Secretary of Defense to the Congress on military and security developments, it's very clear that what we were talking about, national intelligence law, which was China has come up in the year 2017, it gives China, the Beijing, the power on the Chinese companies. That is what we were talking about, like on Huawei, ZTE, and then TikTok. Now you understand why TikTok was banned. I think now you will get the entire understanding why TikTok was banned, because this TikTok, which is a major, a success which has been in India, has been banned by the government of India, because as per the national intelligence law which China has come up in the year 2017, this gives the power to China to have control over the Chinese companies. For example, Huawei, ZTE and TikTok. Why? Because these companies should support, provide, and then should assist and cooperate whom? The China national intelligence work. Please do understand, there is so much of link why China apps are a threat to India as well as across the globe, and also US has taken decision to push away or to make sure that 5G services of Huawei is not included in US. So these companies, as per the national intelligence laws, the Chinese companies which are investing in the offshore or in the other countries, they should support, they should provide assistance, they should cooperate with China's national intelligence work. And as per the national intelligence law, Article 7 of the national intelligence law states that all these China's companies or organizations wherein they are supposed to support, they are supposed to assist, they are supposed to cooperate. So when they support, assist and cooperate, what the China will do is, to these companies, it will also support, assist and cooperate the national intelligence to both of them. So that is the one, that is the national intelligence law. So the keyword here is the national intelligence law. As per this, the government of India has also raised concerns of Chinese investments in India, especially India's startups, because you have, the main thing is, all these companies, as per the national intelligence law, they have the direct or indirect link to the Beijing company, the government. And you have the US-China Economic and Security Review Commission. You have US-China Economic Security Review Commission, which says that it has come up with a report. And this report says that the Chinese government's military civil fusion policy. So you have a policy called as, in China, military civil fusion policy. That is what PLA has direct or indirect link with the Chinese firms. Now you are getting that point. This is as per what? Again, national intelligence law, which has the control over Chinese firms which invest in offshore, that is other countries. And not only that, you have the military civil. Please do understand the keyword here, military and civil. fusion policy. For what? This will spur, increase innovation and economic growth. Economic growth. And the other one is, that is including, it will support, that is government supported mechanism. So the government will support mechanism that is called as venture capital funds. So what is venture capital? Venture capital in the sense, if any company, that is a startup company, any startup company which is definitely falling shortage of capital, so that shortage of capital will be invested, that is it will be ventured, that capital, wherever the amount, the capital is shortage, those startup companies require the capital. So the companies which are strong, or which are having the strong funding system, or economically they are strong, those companies will venture their capital into the startup companies. And likewise China, that is China venture capital investments. This is very important concept. China's venture capital investments have done in India startups companies, especially the companies which have invested in India startup are Alibaba and Tencent. Please do understand here, the concept is venture capital. So the venture capitals are the one who have the strong business funding. Those funding or companies will invest in like startup companies wherein they require the more of capital, so they will venture their capital into startup company. And likewise the Chinese venture investments in India are lot in the Indian startup companies, and that is raising a question mark. So we were just talking about TikTok, or talking about only the Chinese mobile apps, please do understand. But what is important is that you need to focus on Chinese goods, Chinese firms, Chinese investment. So these are very 3 points for the, what do you say, conceptual understanding. This is how you need to focus for prelims and mains point of view. So here again another keyword what we are focused in regards to Chinese investment is Chinese venture capital investments in the Indian startup companies. And we are focused on another one, that is national intelligence law, this keyword, and the other one is military civil fusion policy. Please do understand all this. These are all very important keywords for the prelims and also mains for conceptual. And when we are talking about this, this is basically very important for economy point of view and also international relations in regards to the current affairs also. So I hope how or else this is the way you need to analyze the news and then focus it that how best it can be useful for the prelims and as well as mains point of view by emphasizing on the keywords and the key phrases. And the question for the day is, a sudden imposition and unprecedented. What do you mean by unprecedented? That means never it has been done or it was never known before. That is an unprecedented and prolonged lockdown. So we are talking about the lockdown. Here the concept is about the lockdown. In the wake of, we know that it is because of the COVID-19 pandemic situation, India was forced to go ahead with taking an option or initiative, that is lockdown. So in regards to the sudden and unprecedented, what are the keywords what you need to focus here is sudden imposition of an unprecedented in the sense that it was never done or known before, and a prolonged lockdown. Prolonged. So these are the three keywords. You need to first get into identifying the keywords in the question. Only when you can identify the keywords in the question, you will be able to answer that. And because of the sudden imposition of the unprecedented and prolonged lockdown in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic has brought renewed focus, a new focus, and this is a keyword, on the problems of hunger and food insecurity. I think now you are able to link this. So, one side, it is in regards to the COVID-19, a sudden, unprecedented and prolonged are the keywords, that is the lockdown. And the other side is the keywords are renewed focus or renewed focus on, the other keyword is problems of hunger and problems of food insecurity. So, look at linking COVID-19 pandemic with food security, that is National Food Security, NFS. So we are linking pandemic with food security. So look at it, two different topics, pandemic and food security, and that is what is linking here, and then you need to answer it. So link the kind of situations what we have faced because of the sudden and unprecedented prolonged lockdown because of the COVID-19, and this has brought renewed focus. So because of this, now the government of India is focusing on the hunger and food insecurity. Hunger and food insecurity. Fine. So I think you can write the answer to this. And just to recapitulate, so this is in regards to the science and technology. We have looked at again various keywords, that is in regards to the doubling of the rate, and then case fatality rate, and then also in regards to total cases 3 millions. And then again in regards to the prelims point of view, we are focused in regards to the vaccine, that is 3 vaccines, 2 are indigenous and 1 from Oxford University with the Serum Institute of India for prelims point of view. And this again in regards to the Indian Railways again part of economy. Please do understand, Indian Railways again part of economy for prelims point of view, that is dedicated freight corridor. We are focused, that is especially west-east or east-west dedicated freight corridor. And this again in regards to the economy point of view, how the Chinese goods, Chinese firms, Chinese investments have their substantial investment and presence in India through the Chinese Venture Capital Fund, in Indian startup companies, and thereby how this we are focused on national intelligence law of China, which has direct or indirect link to the PLA. So again in regards to the prelims point of view and a conceptual understanding for mains point of view, we have discussed in regards to the India-China international relations economy point of view also. Fine. And then I would request you to like the video, share the video and subscribe the video of Advanced Knowledge System, that is AKS Academy. And you can also visit the website of AKS IAS Academy, and then do subscribe the Telegram link of AKS IAS Academy. And I would say a very big thank you and a good luck. And good luck in your future endeavors, and all the best. And I would say again the DNA analysis. I will take up the DNA analysis. Tomorrow we will meet once again, that is at 7:30 a.m. And I would reiterate my statement, that is, you all do maintain consistency and then stick to your schedule and then take care of your physical and mental health. So I hope this session was very important for prelims as well as mains examinations. As well as mains examinations. And I can assure you that definitely the AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis will be informative and you will be certainly benefited. I can say it with total grit that you will be certainly benefited by AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis from a macro and micro level strategy preparation for civil services examinations. I would say you a big thank you, good luck in your future endeavors and all the best, and then see you tomorrow at 7:30 a.m.